Canto 16. The Divine and the Demoniac. Lord Krishna spoke, fearlessly persevering for the inner purification and engaging in yoga of knowledge with dedication, holding all senses in control and by selflessly giving, engaging in sacrifice, ascesis and scriptural reading. Bereft of anger, practicing non-violence and truthfulness, self-giving, absence of fault-finding and peacefulness, devoid of greed and holding a global compassion, modesty, tenderness, and an unswerving determination, radiating purity, showing forgiveness and valiance, not having envy or pride, and holding a poised balance. O Arjuna, these qualities encompass the treasure inherited by those born with the divine nature. Egoism, false pride, and a deceitful arrogance, anger, harshness, and the vice of ignorance. O Arjuna, these are the qualities that define those born with the demonic nature, undivine. By these qualities divine, liberation one can gain, but demonic nature ties one to bondage's chain. O Arjuna, be not under any duress. It is the divine qualities that you possess. O Arjuna, all the living creatures belong to one of these two natures. The divine I have just surmised and extolled. The demoniac I will now state for you to behold. The demonic beings are ignorant of the right action, devoid of knowledge, and unaware of the path of abstention. There exists no truth in any of these beings, nor is faithfulness observed in their dealings. There is no God, they jubilantly proclaim. There is no truth in this world, so they claim. The origins of the world they dismiss as mere chance. Only desire is its sole foundation. Thus is their stance. And by this falsehood alone, all life they perceive. With their minds polluted, their souls they deceive. Becoming playthings of the demonic forces of damnation, with violence and injury, they perpetuate only destruction. With arrogance and a lust that is never quenched, their devious minds in egos are drenched. A philosophy of ignorance fuels their desires, and to grab power, their mind incessantly conspires. Believing astutely in the pseudo-bliss of unconsciousness, enjoyment and desire is their only source of happiness. They are incessantly plagued by worries indefinite. Until their ends, they are consumed by thoughts infinite. By 100 bonds of desire they are bound, for inside them a reign of anger and lust is found. They only yearn for material wealth to accumulate. A mountain of possessions they seek to accumulate. They think, today so much I have gained, but tomorrow so much more has to be obtained. So much wealth I possess with me now, but tomorrow I need to amass more. Somehow, one enemy of mine I have thus exterminated. Soon I will have all of them annihilated, for I am the most supreme amongst men, powerful, enjoyers of desires, invincible and successful. I am wealthy and from a family of the rich I hail. In comparison to me, everyone looks poor and pale. I perform sacrifice, I do so much charity. I am the real enjoyer. Thus is their narrow mentality. Their minds, which are in many ways deluded, in craving's trap they are ever confounded, ever restless by their endless desire. They ultimately end in lust's hellish fire. Even sacrifice they perform with narcissism, obsessed with wealth in a state of egotism. All their offerings are just namesake, as their vanity they never forsake. With egoism in their strength, a bloated arrogance, and minds consumed by desire, anger and ignorance, they deride the God that in all living beings resides, and also the God that within themselves presides. These beings to whom both good and God are detestable are the vilest of creatures, inhuman and despicable. These beings I send into the lowest wombs of earth. Repeatedly they suffer the pangs of a demonic birth. Ever so deluded are those creatures that are consumed in their own selfish natures. For birth after birth they find me not, and they sink to the lowest of statures that can be got. Threefold too are the gates of darkness and destruction that sentence a being into hell's damnation. Desire, rage and lust are the accursed three. By renouncing them only can man be free. O Arjuna, liberated from the doors of darkness, man can attain a union in my oneness. For then he can journey on his own alone, reaching the highest status of the soul that is known. But he who disregards these rules mandatory, that the golden scriptures deem necessary, follows his desires and reaches the sorry plight of imperfection and sorrow that comes in absence of light. Therefore, let the scriptures be your guide, and by their truths may you always abide. By understanding them, follow their declaration. In all works and actions, bring forth your emancipation. Thus ended the 16th canto of the Bhagavad Gita, where Sri Krishna explained the divine and the demonic natures to Arjuna.